What's up, guys? Mike here. Welcome back to King Kraken Sports, back to the summer circuit of 2017. Today we're talking about the offensive tackle class and doing a little preview of that. And let me just say first, it feels really good to finally have an offensive tackle class again worth talking about. Last year's class was really fucking bad. It was depressing to watch. This year, I think we've got a lot better talent. I think any of these guys would have probably been top tackle, or some of the lower tier guys that I'm talking about today would have probably been top 2 tackles, but they're like in that, top 10 tackles range this year. Last year's class was really fucking bad. Let's get into it though. So, one of my favorite players in this class, offensive tackle out of Texas, Connor Williams. What else can there be said about this kid? Started day one at Texas as a true freshman. Wasn't one of those highly touted guys coming out of high school like a Malik Jefferson, who was a 5-star recruit or anything like that. Connor Williams was a 3-star. 3-star recruit at Texas, starts day one. He's played 2 full seasons, and he's allowed 1 sack. And that sack really shouldn't even count against him. Goes on a QB scramble. Come on. This kid, as soon as he gets his hands on you, it's over. And he gets his hands on you very quickly. It's over very quickly. One of the most dominant offensive tackles I've ever scouted. I wasn't nearly anywhere near scouting back at the time, but what he does on the field reminds me a lot of what you see at the NFL level from Joe Thomas. And I don't like to, 1, do player comparisons, and 2, throw out player comparisons like that, but it's the only thing I could fucking think of. This kid is a genetic freak. All you see on social media is him just, clanging and banging, hitting the weight rooms, just throwing up ridiculous totals like that. But unlike a player in the past like Sean Oakman, where that was all he was just an intimidating presence, looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. Connor Williams looks like Tarzan and plays like Tarzan. You're not going to beat him on a sack. Like I said, 1 sack allowed in 2 years on a QB scramble, which is more on the quarterback's fault. And he's had really bad quarterbacks. Gerard Hurd, Shane Buechele. These are not NFL talent quarterbacks whatsoever. Connor Williams, if he continues the way he's been going so far, we're looking at him as probably a number 1 or number 2 pick in this draft. Obviously, to me, hands down top tackle. One of the best players in the class. One of the best offensive tackle prospects I've ever seen. Let's go to Mike McGlinchey, the senior tackle out of Notre Dame. Probably could have been number 1 tackle in last year's class. Little surprising he didn't come out for his, didn't declare early. Decided to go back for his senior year. Only spent 1 year at left tackle, so he said he wanted another year to develop, and that he knew he had things to work on. And this kid, another just strong as a fucking ox, 6'8", 320, again, long arms, gets his hands on you, it's over. Him and Williams are definitely in that top 10 range as far as talent. I think he's close to Williams. If he has a really strong season and Notre Dame actually starts putting together wins, it's only going to help McGlinchey even more. That offensive line for Notre Dame, outside of him and Quentin Nelson, is garbage. McGlinchey is probably their best chance at having a first-round pick this year. I think I'm so glad he actually decided to come back for this year's class rather than last year's class. He would have been far and away the best tackle. This year he's got motivation because he's got other guys around him that are going to push him to be even better and to try to up his draft stock. And I think he's going to be a very good player. He's got one thing that Connor Williams doesn't, and that's longer arms. Being 6'8", he's got a very long reach. Connor Williams is only about 6'4". Some people worry that he might have 2 shorter arms, which means like Zach Martin, but I think there's no way Connor Williams isn't a dominant left tackle at the next level. I don't think there's any way Mike McGlinchey is a Pro Bowl tackle at the next level. I think both of them are just fucking phenomenal. Because he's got a longer reach, he's able to get his hands on you even faster than Williams is. It's going to be very fun to see the 2 of them go tit for tat for the season. It's kind of going to be like Laramie Tunsil versus Ronnie Stanley. Only I think both of these guys are better than both of those guys. Let's move on to the defending national champions, Mitch Hyatt. Very under the radar prospect when you think about it. He's kind of flown under the radar the last couple of years just due to the amount of talent that he's been surrounded by on Clemson's offense. Just last year alone, they had Watson, Gallman, Leggett, Williams, Artavis Scott, all those defensive guys the last couple of years as well. That the offensive line at Clemson has been very unheralded. Mitch Hyatt, again, much like Connor Williams, Started as a true freshman at left tackle, which, given the fact that Clemson is now a national powerhouse, is even harder to do. Very, very strong player. Has his moments where hit and miss. Not as automatic with the other two as if he gets hands on you, it's over. Maybe struggles a little bit at times in pass blocking if he's up against a dominant edge rusher. I think Bradley Chubb beat him a couple of times against North Carolina State. But that's going to happen when you're very young. And the good thing is that last year he had Deshaun Watson, Wayne Gallman, and Mike Williams there to kind of bail him out because that trio can make up for some lapses on front. Unfortunately, this year, those guys are all gone, and the rest of that Clemson offense is pretty unproven, so we're going to have to really see just how good Mitch Hyatt is. Orlando Brown out of Oklahoma, another guy that last year, had he have come out as a redshirt sophomore last year, probably could have been the number one tackle. Just a mammoth of a human being, 6'8", 6'9", something like that, 355 pounds at Oklahoma. Same type of thing that you usually expect with these just gargantuan tackles. They struggle in movement, but if they get their hands on you, it is over. I worry about guys that are that big. Even look at last year. David Sharp out of Florida was 6'7", 360. He didn't get picked late until late. He was like 6th round pick. Zach Banner, same thing. They're moving him into guard at Indianapolis because, he just doesn't have the athleticism to play tackle at the next level. Maybe a little bit of a concern for Orlando Brown. Genetics is totally there. He's the son of Orlando Brown Sr. for the Baltimore Ravens back in the day. Kid plays hard. Kid plays really hard. Still really young, still really raw. He uses his size and to make up for any sort of lack of athleticism. And he plays in a, quite frankly, non-defensive conference in the Big 12. But he's not as good in that conference as someone like a Connor Williams is. Pray for me on this name because I hope I'm saying it right. Chukwuma Okorafor out of Western Michigan. I think I got that, but I don't know. I have yet to actually hear how it's pronounced. By the time the draft comes, I'll get it. Anyways, Okorafor out of Western Michigan. He's the reason Taylor Moton was a right tackle his whole career at Western Mich. He is the more dominant of the two, I think. Moton went late second round in a very weak offensive tackle class. I think if Okorafor had actually declared for last year's class as a junior, easily he probably would have gone late round 1, early round 2, given how weak that class was. Very, very solid left tackle. Again, much like some of these Big 12 offensive tackles, very hard to kind of project how they do at the next level because playing in the MAC, because there's no defense in the MAC. Very much a run-and-shoot style offense, put up 65 points per game. Very, very spread out offenses. It's going to be interesting to see. I think he's going to be very good at the next level. He's got really good size, really good hand speed, very good anticipation. So he can tell when someone's going to try to jump the snap, and he's usually prepared for it. Didn't really see a lot of bad tape for him. Watched 3 games. I think he dominated all 3 of them. I think he's one of those guys where he might be more talented than the school, in that he belongs at a bigger name school, but he's going to just dominate everyone at his competition level, and that's going to be the main knock on him is the competition level. So when you're at a school like Western Michigan, you need to be able to put forth incredible tape against the competition, and he does just that. Trey Adams out of Washington, another just behemoth kid, 6'7", 6'8", 320, much like McGlinchey. Was someone I was really looking forward to watching because, Washington just had a really, really fucking good season last year, and that offensive line did very well for them. Unfortunately, when I actually started watching his tape towards the end of the season, when you looked at, the Pac-12 championship, he did really well against Colorado. And then that game against Alabama came, and you can tell that he's not used to playing anything close to that level of competition. Tim Williams, Ryan Anderson, Deron Payne, Rashawn Evans, Sean Dion Hamilton, all got a chance to go up one-on-one against him, and he did really struggle with all of them. Very, very raw athlete, not a very skilled technician at the position, but he was only a true sophomore last year. There was no way that you would have anticipated that Washington would have gone that far, really, last season. But I think really that another good year, Chris Peterson is going to put up another winning, good season at Washington. I don't think they're going to be as good this year as they were last year. Just hoping that Adams improves on his technique, because athletically, I think he's there. He's got the size, he's got the arm length, but but against against first round all SEC competition potentially, he's going to struggle because he's not there technically. So that's something he needs to hone in. So there you have it, guys. There's 7 guys for the offensive tackle class for next year. Just as a quick preview, some of the guys that I didn't mention that I have gotten a chance to scout: Jerron Christian out of Louisville, Jamarco Jones out of Ohio State, Zachary Crabtree out of Oklahoma State, all very good players. One guy I'm still waiting to try to find some tape on is Brian O'Neill. Another guy I didn't mention was Martinez Rankin out of Mississippi State. That's because I'm hearing rumblings he might be moving to center from offensive tackle, so I didn't really want to lump him in here, but we'll see how that plans out. As always, guys, thank you for watching. If you like the video, leave a like. If you have your own rankings, leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I like to try to put up these videos as often as I can. It's been a little bit of a struggle this summer just due to work and everything, but I'm gonna pound through, try to get all of the main position groups. We're not going to do guards or tight ends or centers or anything like that. We're probably going to do like defensive linemen, then edge rusher, corner, safety, linebacker. Like, you get the point. We're also going to have some other discussion videos, not so much draft-related videos. That's going to do it for today. Till next time, guys, take it easy.